Suzuki TU250. What's up everyone, it's Alex. First off, sorry the videos are a little few and far between lately. Life's been kind of busy, a little bit crazy lately, but I love making videos for you guys, so I'm doing it as often as I can. Thanks for being patient. Thanks for watching. So a lot of you guys that have been watching my videos know that I like to do videos on good beginner bikes for people and like my suggestions when it comes to that. It occurred to me lately that one bike that I've been neglecting a lot, it's actually one of the best all-around beginner bikes out there, is actually the Suzuki TU250. This little guy right here, they've been making this little guy for a few years now, and I always forget about it, like when I'm thinking of good beginner bikes, because I'm used to the kind of the old guard of beginner bikes, which is like the Honda Rebels and the GZ250s and the Yamaha Virago 250s and all those kind of bikes. But this little guy right here is actually a fantastic beginner motorcycle. So let me give you the rundown, okay? So in a nutshell, what you've got with this little guy right here is you've got a 250cc bike that's kind of like a classic standard setup. So it's got a really nice like neutral seating position to it, which will be comfortable to most riders. It's not super tall. It's a little bit taller in the seat than like a Rebel or like a V-Star 250, Virago 250 or something like that. But it's not very tall. At 5'9", I'm flat foot on the ground with my knees bent. Shorter riders will have no problem at all with this seat height right here. Suzuki gave you disc brakes up front, so you got plenty of stopping power for the weight of this motorcycle, which is only like 200 something pounds. It's not very heavy at all. You've got a chain drive, which is a little bit more maintenance than a drive shaft or something, but most of your starter bikes are going to have a chain just because that's a really inexpensive, easy, kind of direct, light power transfer system. So you've got chain drive on it. You've got really easily accessible, easy to understand, old school external shocks. The whole bike is basically set up like very, very old school retro standard. So you've got that kind of classic styling that's been real popular the last couple of years again, but you've got a really, really easy 250 kind of standard motorcycle with it. But the biggest thing for this, and the reason I think that this is one of the best, especially in the 250 starter bikes that you can get, like if you're wanting a 250, if you can deal with a 250, if you're not like a huge person, just need a bigger bike, if you're going to get a 250, this is one of the best choices you can make, because for as inexpensive as it is, and as easy it is, and as cool as like the retro styling is on it, if you'll notice, there's no choke. A lot of your inexpensive starter bikes are carbureted. No choke. No choke. This little thing's fuel injected. This is one of the only 250s that you could get in a really cheap price range like that that's fuel injected. You know, now that Honda's doing the 300 Rebels and stuff, they finally fuel injected their stuff. Kawasaki's Ninjas now, the 300s and then the 400 Ninjas, they're all fuel injected. All of your little sport bikes now, last several years, have been fuel injected. But forever and ever and ever, to get a bike for really, really cheap, for a good starter bike, you had to get a carbureted bike. So if you don't want to spend the money on a 300 Rebel, which is, by the way, 300 Rebel is a good choice too. If you don't want to spend the money on a 300 Rebel, and you don't want a small sport bike for a starter, this gets you a really, really good classic bike option, like classic standard looking motorcycle, 250 cc's, and fuel injected, which makes it really, really, really easy. This is actually, for what you pay for them, it's a fantastic little motorcycle. And I've been making it for several years now, so you can actually find these really, really cheap used. So if you're looking for a starter bike and you want like a 250, you kind of dig the retro thing, you could find these used for really, really cheap. I highly recommend at least sitting on one and giving it a shot, okay? Peace.